A lot of times we find some content for our students, but it's not as rigorous as we'd like. And here's a perfect example. I have a great reading passage, but you'll notice the questions are all multiple choice, and I really want to raise the rigor of this assessment for my students. And that's easy to do with Teachermade. So first, I have a question, what does Myrna want? And it's all multiple choice, but I want my students to actually go back into this reading passage and identify some text evidence to answer this question. So I can do that really easily. First, I'm going to select a text box, and I'm going to just cover up my multiple choice questions. Then I'm going to go ahead and type in my new question. So click on the text in the passage above that states what Myrna wants. So now my students will have to go back into the reading passage and select some text evidence that answers this question. Now to do that, I'm going to use hotspots, one of my favorite features of Teachermade. So I'm going to click on a hotspot, and I want a phone, the first sentence in the passage, and that's actually the answer that I'm looking for. So I'm going to click on Edit Hotspot and say yes, they should click on this hotspot. And now I'm going to go and put a few more hotspots in here just so they've got some more options. I'm going to click on they should not click on this one because I do not want this to be the answer. So now I have some choices for the students to select text evidence to answer this question. Next, whom does Myrna have a conflict with in this story? So again, it's multiple choice, but I want my students to answer this rather than select from multiple choice. So I'm going to select open answer, and again, I'm just going to cover up my multiple choice. And now they can type out their answer for whom does she have a conflict with in this story. Then finally, the author describes Myrna as angry. What evidence in the story supports this description? So I want to do a combination of the two I did above for this question. I want them to not only answer this with an open answer, but I also want them to go back and cite text evidence for their answer. So I'm going to start by putting in a text box, and again, just covering up my multiple choice and typing in my new question. So type in your answer below, then go to the passage and click on the text evidence that supports your response. So below here, I'm going to add an open answer box so they've got a place to type in their answer. And then I'm going to come back to the passage and I'm going to click some hotspots to give them some choices of text evidence to support their response. So here I have the answer I'm looking for. Dad was laughing. She slammed her hand down. Now she was angry. So I want them to click this spot. Now I will group these together by simply holding down Shift and selecting the answers. And that's it. That easily I've been able to take a great reading passage with some not so rigorous multiple choice questions and raise the rigor of this assessment for my students.